Mongolia, with its vast landscapes and rich cultural heritage, is a land of contrasts. Nestled in East Asia, it stands as a landlocked oasis bordered by Russia to the north and China to the south. With over 1.5 million square kilometers of land, it holds the title of the world's largest landlocked country that doesn't border a closed sea. Despite its expansive territory, Mongolia's population remains sparse, with just 3.3 million souls calling it home, making it one of the most sparsely populated countries globally. But beyond its majestic landscapes and rich cultural tapestry, Mongolia harbors its share of shadows. The country battles certain problems that have become serious concerns for the government and its well-wishers. In this video, we'll take you on a journey into Mongolia's dark side. First on the list of problems is obesity. Obesity in Mongolia is a pressing issue with deep-rooted implications for public health. First, the numbers paint a stark picture. Among adults in Mongolia, more than a quarter of women and about a fifth of men are grappling with obesity. These rates soar above the regional averages, putting Mongolia in a tough spot compared to its neighbors. Even when you look at the younger crowd, the stats don't ease up. Around 1 in every 6 kids under 5 and 1 in every 8 adolescents are already dealing with weight issues. That's a concerning trend right from the start of life's journey. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, think of it as a double whammy. Mongolia is already tackling malnutrition issues, but now, with obesity rates climbing, it's like fighting a battle on 2 fronts. This double burden complicates things and strains resources further. Then there's the health angle. Obesity isn't just about carrying a few extra pounds. It's linked to a whole bunch of serious health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and problems with bones and muscles. So it's not just about how you look, it's about your well-being. And let's not forget the wallet impact. Obesity doesn't just hit individuals, it hits economies too. Healthcare costs skyrocket, productivity takes a hit, and overall quality of life goes down a few notches. So what's driving this trend? Well, like many places, Mongolia is seeing changes in diet and lifestyle. Traditional meals are taking a backseat to processed foods that are heavy on the sugar, fat, and salt. And as cities grow and life gets more modern, physical activity tends to take a backseat to screens and sedentary routines. Next on the list of problems is air pollution. The capital city, Ulaanbaatar, the heart of Mongolia, faces a serious battle with air pollution, especially when winter rolls in. On the chilliest days, the air is so thick with PM 2.5 pollution that it's almost suffocating. The levels skyrocket to a mind-boggling 687 micrograms per cubic meter, way above what the World Health Organization says is safe. That's like breathing in trouble. Now, let's talk about coal. It's everywhere in Ulaanbaatar, from towering smokestacks to open trucks rumbling through the streets. Even the simplest homes, those cozy round felt yurts, rely on coal to fend off the bone-chilling cold. But here's the catch. That coal smoke isn't just smelly, it's downright harmful. It fills the air with soot, making it hard to breathe and impossible to ignore. When pollution hits its peak, it's like living in a fog. People and buildings blur into outlines, and the city reeks of acrid smoke. It's not just a nuisance, it's a health hazard, especially for kids. In the winter, when coal is king for heating, lung problems run rampant. It's so bad that schools have had to shut their doors for months just to keep children safe from the toxic air. And here's the kicker, Mongolia's pollution problem isn't just a local issue, it's part of a bigger global trend. Air pollution fueled by things like coal burning affects millions of lives worldwide. Sure, coal might be a lifeline in Mongolia's icy winters, but the toll it takes on health and the environment is no joke. This problem of air pollution is also connected to the next one, environmental issues. Mongolia has got its fair share of environmental hurdles, and they're not easy ones to tackle. First off, the climate has been doing some funky stuff lately. We're talking about abrupt changes that nobody saw coming. Wild winds and those nasty Mongolian cyclones. They're becoming regular guests on the weather report, and it's not just about nature acting up. Human activities have a big hand in the mess too. Overgrazing and things like coal mining have been chewing up the land faster than it can heal, leaving scars that take ages to fade. And then there's climate change, the big bad wolf in the room. the numbers don't lie. Temperatures are shooting up faster than a rocket, with a mean air temperature increase of over 2 degrees Celsius since the 1940s. Precipitation? Yeah, that's taking a nosedive, down 7% annually, making Mongolia drier than grandma's turkey. It's like a vicious cycle, you know? Soil gets dry, which makes the surface hotter, which dries out the soil even more. And the lakes? Forget about them. A quarter of them bigger than a square kilometer dried up between 87 and 2010. That's a lot of water just gone with the wind. Now, let's talk about 2021. That year, Mongolia got hit with the mother of all sandstorms. From March to April, it was like living in a dusty nightmare. The sand didn't just stay put, it hitched a ride on the wind, wreaking havoc as far as China, Japan, and South Korea. Beijing even got a taste of Mongolia's special orange haze, painting the city in apocalyptic shades. But it wasn't just all dust and wind. Lives were lost, people went missing, and the country took a beating like never before. It's a stark reminder that when nature decides to throw a tantrum, nobody's safe, not even in the quiet corners of Mongolia. Now, when a region is cold, one of the things residents use as a coping mechanism is alcohol. Well, the people in Mongolia seem to do more than cope with their alcohol, as it's the basis of the next problem. Alcoholism in Mongolia is a serious deal, and it's hitting hard. Let's start with the numbers. Mongolia has one of the highest alcoholism rates worldwide. According to the World Health Organization, folks here are 3 times more likely to depend on the bottle compared to our European pals. And it's not just statistics, it's personal. A survey from back in 2006 found that a whopping 22% of Mongolian men and 5% of women are struggling with alcohol dependence. That's a lot of lives tangled up in the grip of addiction. But amidst the darkness, there are stories of hope and change. Take Inkbat Dashjamps, for example. He knows firsthand the demons of alcohol. 30 years of vodka took everything from him: his job, his family, his stability. But in 2014, he decided to break free. He had this crazy idea to start a carpentry workshop for recovering alcoholics, a place where they could work with their hands and heal their souls. And you know what? It worked. With the governor's nod, Munkin Gegin Amidral was born, offering a ray of hope to those drowning in darkness. Inkbat's story isn't unique. Communities across Mongolia are standing up to alcoholism. From banning booze sales on Wednesdays to hosting Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, folks are rallying together to fight back. And it's not just talk, it's action. In 2017, a hefty sum of 100 million Mongolian tugriks got pumped into a 3-year alcohol prevention program, showing that the fight against alcoholism is a top priority. The tradition of child jockeys racing horses in Mongolia is deeply rooted in culture, but it's taken a concerning turn lately. Here's what's happening. Imagine over 30,000 kids saddling up annually to race horses. It's a sight to behold, a cherished part of their heritage. But as horse racing shifted from a celebration to a money game, things got messy. Now, these races aren't just summer fun, they're happening year-round, even in bone-chilling winter and spring, and that's where the trouble starts. Winter in Mongolia isn't exactly a walk in the park. Sub-zero temperatures make racing downright dangerous, turning a joyful tradition into a risky business. Accidents? Yeah, they're more common than we'd like to admit. But here's the thing, it's not just about the weather. Behind the scenes, kids are being exploited. Parents, desperate for cash, rent out their children to ride in these races. Sure, the money helps put food on the table, but at what cost? It's a heartbreaking trade-off between survival and safety. And the casualties, they're not just numbers. They're real kids, thrown from their horses, their dreams shattered. Last year alone, around 600 child jockeys hit the dirt during races. It's a grim reality check, forcing us to confront the harsh truth. Cultural heritage shouldn't come at the expense of children's lives. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and share the video.